The other tactical challenge too is when everything's custom like that is you're almost always doing it on a budget. So if you want to hire people, it almost always takes you longer to explain it than to do it yourself. And so you end up with like just taking this mountain of work on yourself because you don't want to. I just had a job where, one of my virtual assistants is down, but I've got like, 5 SOPs. So I just hired people on Fiverr and sent them SOPs, and it took me 30 seconds to hire somebody.
Yep, that's exactly right. And then I think like on that note is, like you can build your SOPs for your specific service. And for us, what's worked well for us in our agency is just getting really good at like one service and then offering that. And then you get closer with your client, and then they trust you more. So then if you do want to expand onto another service, then you can offer that to them, and then they'll be more forthcoming and be like, hey, I'll let you test out, $5K or whatever it is, to go ahead and kind of use them as like, hey, I think this is going to work. But if you're willing to try it, that's a lot easier than going to somebody that doesn't know you and asking for money to, hopefully, try a new service. So getting really good at like one service, and expanding that in the niche. And then, as soon as you get those systems and processes and some clients, then maybe expanding into more services.
Yeah, by the way, I call those guinea pig clients where they're already happy with what you got. And you say, hey, I got this cool idea I want to try. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm pretty sure it will. You open to trying something and they're like, hell yeah, I want to be the first to have it. Let's do it. But like you said, if you do that to a stranger, they're going to tell you fuck off, basically. Or just ignore you. Actually, they won't even tell you to fuck off. They'll just ignore you.
They'll just ignore you. And then it's just, you're just talking, it's just not a good strategy. I just wouldn't try that. It's just not a good idea.
So you mentioned as well, like up leveling your beliefs. I'd be curious to know, like, what are some of the beliefs you've had to kind of up level over the last year or so, or maybe even over the entirety of your 7 years?
Yeah. No, I think that is like the major difference with people that don't charge enough money. I think that right there, like you're doing yourself such a disservice and your client's a disservice, because then you can't get what actually needs to be done, maybe on the technical side, hiring good people, having enough margin to not like resent the client. So there's a set of beliefs that like, by no means am I saying, you have no experience, go charge $20,000 a month, but at the same time, you need to be able to charge enough to get the job done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's
it's a real thing where people do it too cheap and then they can't bring in good help, and you end up, like you said, you end up resenting the client because you're like, fucking, they're paying me nothing and they demand all their shit.
Yeah. And then what's going to happen is people are going to make up bullshit reasons for, like I did for years, on why you shouldn't charge more, like, and you should go get experience and have all, and do that. But I still remember when I was charging $500 a month for services, and it was so hard to do anything with that.
It's miracle work for real. It's like you're always trying to pull off SEO miracles at that price.
There's no way in hell is. And then you would need like 50 clients just to like actually have like a relatively decent team, if that's what you're looking for, even a small team. I think so. There's a set of beliefs about what you're worth as far as compensation goes and offering your service. That is probably one of the biggest things that held me back until the last couple of years.
Can I just add to that? I'll tell you one that I see as well a lot is like almost always when you start demanding bigger paychecks, you're going to businesses that are like significantly more successful than you've ever been in your life. And so there's a tendency to think, well, what am I going to add to their lives? They're already doing $100 million. What am I going to tell them with my, especially when you're first getting started, I make 40,000 a year. What am I going to tell a company doing 8 figures? But you'd be amazed at how much they actually need you.